Marilyn Monroe was born as Norma Jeane Mortensen on June 1st, 1926, in Los Angeles, California. Her life began in a city full of dreams, but her own start was far from glamorous. Her mother, Gladys, worked as a film cutter in Hollywood, but she struggled with mental health issues. Norma never really knew her father, and this mystery followed her all her life. Because of her mother's illness, Norma spent much of her childhood in foster homes and even in an orphanage. This early instability shaped her longing for love and security. One of the few bright spots in her childhood was when she discovered movies. Sitting in dark theaters, she dreamed of being on the screen one day. At the age of 16, to avoid returning to the orphanage, she married her neighbor, James Doherty. It wasn't true love, it was survival. While James joined the Navy during World War II, Norma worked in a factory. One day, a photographer spotted her and asked to take her picture. That moment changed her life forever. Her photos quickly caught attention, and soon she was modeling for magazines. Norma's face began appearing on covers across America. To pursue acting, she divorced James in 1946. That same year, she signed her first movie contract and changed her name to Marilyn Monroe, a name inspired by a Broadway star and her grandmother's surname. Marilyn dyed her hair platinum blonde, and suddenly, she looked nothing like the shy Norma Jeane. Hollywood had found its new blonde bombshell. Her early roles were small, but her presence on screen was undeniable. Even in the background, audiences couldn't take their eyes off her. In 1950, she appeared in The Asphalt Jungle and All About Eve. Though her parts were brief, critics noticed her charm and potential. What many don't know is that Marilyn studied acting seriously. She took classes at the Actors Lab and read books about performance, eager to be more than just a pretty face. By 1952, she was already famous for her roles in comedies. Reporters loved her laugh, which was actually a nervous giggle she had since childhood. She often arrived late to sets, which frustrated directors. But the truth was she struggled with stage fright and insecurity. Behind the glamour, Marilyn was deeply vulnerable. Still, audiences adored her. In 1953, with the release of Niagara, she became Hollywood's ultimate symbol of desire. Marilyn Monroe was no longer just a name. She was an icon. After Niagara, Marilyn starred in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, 1953. Her performance as Lauralee Lee, singing and dancing in a pink gown, became one of Hollywood's most iconic scenes. That same year, she played in How to Marry a Millionaire alongside Betty Grable and Lauren Bacall. Marilyn's comedic timing surprised audiences and critics alike. Despite her growing fame, Marilyn was often underpaid compared to other stars. She felt the studio treated her like a product, not an artist. In 1954, Marilyn married baseball legend Joe DiMaggio. Their wedding was followed by a media storm, and fans adored the glamorous couple. But behind closed doors, things weren't perfect. Joe disliked Marilyn's sexy image on screen, especially the famous subway scene in The 7-Year Itch. The couple divorced after only 9 months. Still, Joe remained deeply in love with Marilyn, and he would later play an important role in her life. Marilyn wasn't done with ambition. She wanted respect as a serious actress. In 1955, she moved to New York and joined the Actors Studio, studying under Lee Strasberg. While in New York, she also started her own production company, something extremely rare for actresses at that time. She was determined to control her career. Many don't know that Marilyn kept notebooks full of poems, thoughts, and dreams. Her writing showed a sensitive, thoughtful side that the public rarely saw. By 1956, Marilyn returned to Hollywood with a new image. More confident, more ambitious, and newly married to playwright Arthur Miller. Her marriage to Miller shocked many. She was Hollywood's sex symbol. He was an intellectual writer. But Marilyn admired his mind, and he admired her depth. In 1956, she starred in Bus Stop, a role that proved her acting abilities. Critics were impressed, and Marilyn finally earned respect as more than just a starlet. She also worked on The Prince and The Showgirl with Laurence Olivier. Behind the scenes, however, tensions were high. Olivier criticized her, and Marilyn felt humiliated. To cope, she relied heavily on pills and alcohol. This habit would haunt her for the rest of her life, creating cycles of dependence and exhaustion. Still, when the cameras rolled, Marilyn glowed. Audiences never suspected the struggles she faced behind the curtain of fame. By the late 1950s, Marilyn's fame was at its peak. She was both adored and scrutinized. Every move she made became a headline. In 1959, she starred in Some Like It Hot with Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon. The film was a huge success, and Marilyn's comedic brilliance stole the show. What the public didn't see was that filming was difficult. She often forgot her lines, and her insecurities slowed production. Yet the final result was magical. Marilyn won a Golden Globe for her role in Some Like It Hot. For a moment, she felt her efforts to be recognized as a true actress had paid off. Her marriage to Arthur Miller, however, began to crumble. Their differences grew, and Marilyn felt increasingly isolated. On set of The Misfits, in the year 1961, written by Miller for her, Marilyn's health and emotions collapsed. She fainted multiple times, and their marriage ended soon after. The Misfits became her last completed film, and tragically, it was also the final movie for Clark Gable, her co-star. After her divorce, Marilyn's loneliness deepened. She had short relationships with powerful men, including rumors of ties to President John F. Kennedy. In 1962, she was fired from the set of Something's Got to Give due to repeated absences and health problems. Studio executives lost patience. Still, she remained a media sensation. When she sang Happy Birthday to President Kennedy in May 1962, her sultry performance became instantly legendary. Behind the glamour, Marilyn was battling insomnia, depression, and heavy dependence on medication. Friends worried about her well-being. On August 4th, 1962, Marilyn was found lifeless in her Brentwood home. She was only 36 years old. The official cause was probable suicide from a drug overdose. Her sudden death shocked the world. Fans mourned, and conspiracy theories about her passing began almost immediately. Joe DiMaggio, her ex-husband, arranged her funeral quietly. For 20 years afterward, he sent roses to her grave 3 times a week. Decades later, Marilyn Monroe remains an icon. Her story is one of beauty and fame, but also of pain and vulnerability. A reminder that legends are human too.